Hello everyone, welcome again to live session of Monologue classes. I'm Dinesh Kumar and I will take today's means 7th January 2023 The Hindu news analysis. So I will take the most important news. The first news is SC transfer to itself all pleas related to same-sex marriage. So basically you may be aware about this controversy or this concern of the various people. Now we will understand this in detail. Okay, there is Article 14 of Constitution of India. Article 14 of Constitution of India. This Article 14 provides equality before law and equal protection before laws. Equality before law means सारे लोग इक्वल हैं कानून के सामने, एंड इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ लॉज मीन्स कि जो लॉ की प्रोटेक्शन है दैट विल बी इक्वली गिवन टू एवरीवन. ठीक है, नाउ वी विल अंडरस्टैंड इट. अब यहाँ पर क्या है कि सम ऑफ द पेटिशनर हैज contended this provision article 14 that this special marriage act and particularly the section 4 of special marriage act provides that the special marriage can be solemnized between any two persons. अब वहां पर वर्ड क्या यूज किया गया है सेक्शन 4 में, एनी टू पर्सन्स, एंड इट डज नॉट इंक्लूड द यूनियन ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल. तो मतलब मैरिज के लिए मेल और फीमेल होना मैंडेटरी नहीं है, क्योंकि वर्ड वहां पर क्या लिखा हुआ है, पर्सन लिखा हुआ है. लेकिन अगर आप हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट में देखें या जनरल कंसेप्ट ऑफ मैरिज देखें इन इंडियन सिनेरियो, तो वहां पर क्या है कि जनरली द मैरिज टेक्स प्लेस बिटवीन अ मेल एंड ए फीमेल, क्योंकि इट इज कंसिडर्ड दैट प्रोक्रिएशन ऑफ चाइल्ड इज वन ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ सोलमनाइजेशन ऑफ मैरिज. नाउ सम ऑफ द सेम सेक्स पर्सन वांट्स टू सोलमनाइज देयर मैरिज, बट because of this attitude that the marriage can only be solemnized between male and female is preventing from doing so. So now they contended that this section 4 of the Special Marriage Act, that it should be interpreted by Honorable Supreme Court in such a way that it does not include the male and female for the purpose of solemnization of marriage. Now they have contended that कि अगर किसी पर्सन को same sex person, if the same sex person are not allowed to solemnize marriage, then it will be against Article 14 of the Constitution of India and Article 21 of Constitution of India. Now we will understand Article 21. Article 21 says that right to life and personal liberty. Right to life and personal liberty. So it says that every person has the right to life and personal liberty within the territory of India, and no person shall be deprived of his right to life and personal liberty except in accordance to procedure established by law. किसी भी उसको कटा सकता है. अब the petitioner contended that the sexual orientation is an essential component of identity and dignity which are embedded in the right to life. तो देखो petitioner ने क्या कंटेंट किया है कि सेम सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन जो है ये किसी पर्सन की पर्सनल लिबर्टी का पार्ट है अंडर आर्टिकल 21 ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. नेक्स्ट, डिसीजन टू मैरी और नॉट इज वन ऑफ द लाइफ मोमेंटस एक्ट ऑफ सेल्फ डिसीजन. तो पर्सन किससे मैरिज करना चाहता है या मैरिज करना चाहता है या नहीं करना चाहता है, ये उसका एक सेल्फ डिटर्मिनेशन और ये सेल्फ डिसीजन है. नोबडी कैन फोर्स दैट पर्सन if that person does not want to marry, and nobody can prevent a person from marrying if he wants to marry. Next, law protect and recognizes the companions through the institution of marriage. तो यहाँ पर जिस पर्सन के साथ जो पर्सन कंपनी करना चाहता है he can do so. Next, the sexual autonomy and the freedom to choose one's partner is an intrinsic part of the sense of selfhood. तो बेसिकली बाय वर्च्यू ऑफ आर्टिकल 21 हर पर्सन के पास ये राइट है कि वो अपने लाइफ पार्टनर को चुन सके. अब बेसिकली वेरियस Petitions were filed in the Delhi, Kerala and Gujarat High Court regarding the recognitions of the same-sex marriage in India. So Honorable Supreme Court has ordered that all petitions should be sent to Honorable Supreme Court, and now the Honorable Supreme Court will interpret this matter. So now we come to next news. Now this is a little a bit important news. We can understand it. So in this case, the author is Prabhas Ranjan, the Vice Dean of the Jindal Global High School, and he has referred his that the views given by him are personal. So इनके जो views हैं ये कोई authoritative views नहीं हैं, rather these are the personal views. But now we will understand all these concepts in detail. Before the United Nations organization, that is known as UNO, UNO was constituted in 1945, sorry. Now, before UNO, there was League of Nations. League of Nations. It was constituted in 1920. Why the League of Nations was constituted? There was First World War in 1914 and that was ended in 1918. So फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वार जब 1914 से स्टार्ट होकर 1918 तक चली, so nobody wants that there should be world war because the world war has the disastrous consequences upon the humanity, so it should not happen again. So then League of Nations was created. The main purpose of the creation of the League of Nations was that no further world war should happen in the world. So but what happened? Then we also have the Second World War in 1939. It means that this League of Nations could not achieve its objective. जिस पर्पज के लिए League of Nations को बनाया गया था, अगर उसके बाद भी वर्ल्ड वार हुई तो इसका मतलब उसने उसको अचीव नहीं किया. Now what happened? उसके बाद फिर UNO बना 1945 में. So again the main purpose of UNO was to have peace around the globe or in the world, and there should not be any world war. Now, but question is that after the Second World War, the world was divided into two major groups or two countries, we can say that. So after the Second World War, the hegemony of the UK was finished, and now the two great power emerged. One was USA and second was USSR. So USSR was the combination of various countries and USA was alone. Now there was Cold War between these two countries. इन दोनों countries के बीच में Cold War थी, ठीक है. और ये Cold War जो है चली 1945 से लेकर 1991 तक, ठीक है. Now Cold War के बाद क्या हुआ कि this USSR was broken into various independent countries. तो जो USSR जो था that was earlier a collective nations, but now they were separated from the each other. Now after disintegration of the USSR, Russia came into pictures. Now the question or the view of the author is that कि जो international law है हमारा वो उसमें crisis है. Why there is a crisis in the international law? Because it is considered to some extent as a weak law. But why do we consider international law as a weak law? Because it does not have the proper sanctions. Proper sanctions इसमें नहीं है. If we go to the jurisprudential aspect, there is a statement of John Austin, that international law is merely a positive morality. International law is merely a positive morality. So basically international law नहीं है. ऑस्टिन इसको मानते थे कि पॉजिटिव मॉरलिटी है, लेकिन आई डोंट एग्री विद द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ द ऑस्टिन. नाउ व्हाट इज द क्राइसिस इन द इंटरनेशनल लॉ? One of the organization or one of the organ of this UNO is the Security Council. And Security Council contain 15 members. 5 members are permanent and 10 members are non-permanent. Now these 5 permanent members are the most powerful country of the world. And there is a concept of veto power. means any decision in the Security Council cannot be taken without the concurrence or the consent of all these 5 permanent members. अभी क्राइसिस क्या है कि the powerful countries do not respect the international law. Why they do not respect the international law? As a general rule, there should not be any war in the international law, and it, as per the principles or provisions of the UNO, all the countries are directed to settle their dispute by a peaceful manner or in an amicable manner. But recent we are seeing the war between Russia and Ukraine, और ये वार काफी लंबे समय से चल रही है. But no one has power or no one is attempting to prevent this war. This shows that the weakness of the international law. Secondly, why this war is not end? The reason being that Russia is the permanent member of Security Council, and it is the primary responsibility of Security Council to maintain peace in the world. But no country or no permanent member of Security Council can take action against the Russia, because Russia in itself is a permanent member of Security Council. तो यहाँ पर रशिया के अगेंस्ट कोई एक्शन नहीं लिया जा रहा है क्योंकि वो अपने आप में एक परमानेंट मेंबर ऑफ सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल है. तो लीगली दे आर नॉट अलाउड टू टेक एनी एक्शन अगेंस्ट द रशिया. Secondly, if the sanctions are imposed, so similar view is adopted by the USA sometimes. So USA imposed the sanctions upon the other countries, but no country has dared to impose the sanction against the USA. And if the sanctions are imposed upon USA, then it does not give much heed to the sanctions imposed upon it by the other countries. So all these show that the attitude of the some of the powerful country towards the international law is that they do not abide the provisions of international law. This is the view given by the author in this editorial. Now, Center will adhere to timeline fixed by SC for judicial appointment. So there was controversy regarding the judicial appointment in our country, and the controversy was that at present the judges to the High Court and Supreme Court are appointed by judicial, means the collegium system. So collegium system क्या होता है? Collegium system contain the Chief Justice of India and the 4 senior most judges of Supreme Court. ठीक है? And in case of appointment of judges of High Court, the Chief Justice of High Court is also involved. So they appoint the judges of Supreme Court and High Court. But what happens? In 2014, Parliament enacted a law that is known as NJAC. NJAC stands for National Judicial Appointment Commission. So Parliament enacted this by way of 99th Constitutional Amendment. But the constitutional validity of this was challenged on the ground that it will affect the independence of judiciary. Why it will affect the independence of judiciary? Because some executives like the law minister, like the prime ministers, were involved in it. So it was challenged on this ground that it will affect the independence of judiciary. So Honorable Supreme Court, taking note of it, declared this NJAC as unconstitutional in the case of Supreme Court Advocate on Record Bar Association versus Union of India 2015 में इसको struck down कर दिया गया. Now we again assume the collegium system, but there is a controversy, there is a power crisis between the center as well as the apex court, means the Supreme Court. क्या है कि what happens if Honorable Supreme Court appoint a person as a judge and gave their recommendation. So basically this collegium system gave its recommendation to the president, and president is bound to abide by the recommendation given by the collegium system. तो जब इसको recommendation दी जाती हैं और वो उसको abide by करता है, तो what happen in this situation? Generally जो हमारी सरकार है, सरकार मीन्स मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ लॉ एंड जस्टिस जो है, if the names are sent by the honorable collegium to the president, then these name also goes to the ministry of law and justice. लेकिन वहां से इनको क्लियरेंस नहीं मिल पाता, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि जो फाइनल अपॉइंटमेंट है जजेस का वो डिले हो जाता है। तो इस पर कंट्रोवर्सी थी सरकार के बीच में और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के बीच में। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहता था कि आप टाइमली जजेस के नाम को क्लियर नहीं करते हैं, और जो सेंटर है हमारा और एग्जीक्यूटिव वो कहते थे कि कॉलेजियम का सिस्टम का कोई प्रोविजन ही नहीं है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया में। लेकिन इस पर ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि आप अगर कॉलेजियम के सिस्टम को हटाकर कोई दूसरा कानून लाना चाहते हैं तो आप ला सकते हैं, उसमें कोई इशू नहीं है। लेकिन अभी कंसेंसस दोनों के बीच में बनी है, क्या बनी है कि उन्होंने सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 18 वीक्स का टाइम दिया है कि आप 18 वीक्स में नाम को क्लियर करेंगे, जो भी रिकमेंडेड नेम्स भेजे जाएंगे। तो उस पर जो हमारे अटॉर्नी जनरल हैं उन्होंने अश्योरेंस दी है दैट गवर्नमेंट इज रेडी टू क्लियर द नेम ऑफ द जजेस in 18 days or given a time by the Honorable Supreme Court. So all these were the important news. These are not so important news from your examination point of view. So that's all for today, my dear students. I will come again with the next the Hindu news analysis. Till then, thank you very much. Goodbye.